Okay, so today we're going with a fairly simple meal, but I've had a hankering for it lately, so we're doing Philly cheesesteaks. Here, I have what was approximately a 1 pound ribeye. I just went and trimmed off some of the extra fat along the edges. Typically on a steak, we want that fat, but as we're getting ready for the Philly cheesesteak, slicing it up, it's just not going to hold together quite as well. So what I am doing is just taking, and thin is going to be the name of the game today, and slicing this up as thin as I possibly can. I'm probably getting a little too thick with some of these cuts, but it'll turn out all right. So I'm just going to finish slicing this up, and I'm going to throw all my slices into a little storage bowl here. To that, I'm going to add a little bit of salt, some onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder. Pepper would be a great addition to this as well. Just going to mix it up. Add a little splash of soy sauce. This is probably optional, but I like to throw a little bit of soy sauce in when I'm cooking steaks and fajitas and different stuff with this type of meat. So we're just going to get it all mixed up, and then we're going to set it to the side and get started on our vegetables. Okay, so here you can see we have our typical cheesesteak accoutrements. Just got about a half of a yellow onion, again sliced up as thin as I could do it, and some green peppers. I've got my skillet plate here over probably about a medium. It's nice and hot. So what we're gonna do now is just get these peppers and onions on the skillet, let them caramelize up a little bit, and then we're going to continue to let our steak kind of sit and rest in those that kind of marinade that we put it in before. When our veggies are done, we are going to pull them off and again set those to the side. Okay, so now our veggies are almost there. They are a little bit undercooked, but I'm going to pull them because we're going to cook our meat and then mix the veggies back in, so they're going to get a little bit more cook time before we are ready to eat. So again, I'm just going to pull these off, throw them to the side. And then going to add our steak. We're going to do our best to spread it around a little bit just to make sure everything's going to get cooked. I don't know what happened there. We had a little bit of a technical blip, but I'm going to add the steak, spread it out a little bit. Unlike the veggies, which I was mixing pretty continuously, those are going to burn faster. This steak we're just going to let sit for a minute before we start to flip and mix it around at all. Now that our steak is all cooked, I'm going to pull this to this step. Depending on how you want to cook is optional. You could just go straight from there to adding your vegetables back in to making your sandwiches, but I want to make sure that we don't have any cross-contamination issues here with what I can and cannot eat, so I'm going to pull everything separated out so then we have we can add back on and make our sandwich. So now, just gonna turn my heat down a little bit, give it a second to cool off. We'll start here in the middle because the middle of this plate's a little bit cooler. Gonna add a little bit of my steak back in, add a little bit of veggies, mix it up, and we can let this cook for just a little bit longer. To that, typically you're going to see provolone here. The store didn't have any provolone, so I'm just using cheddar. But add a little bit of cheese on top. And I am going to, if I can find it, throw a little bit of pepper on my sandwich. Again, I would have done this earlier, but we don't want any cross-contamination with something, so I'm going to add it at this point. Did not add it to the rest of it. Going to throw my bun on the side, toast that up a little bit while this is cooking. Once I got a little bit of a toast on my bun, I'm going to throw that right on top, keep some of the heat in there and help melt the cheese. And then at this point, we got the cheese in there nice and melted. So I'm just going to flip it into my bun, get everything in there. Make a little bit of a mess in the process. And there you have it.